What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over several leaks, rumors, and spoilers that we have so far for Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 1. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more. Let me know what you think down in the comments below of Chapter 6 thus far. And obviously, if you are someone who wants to avoid leaks and spoilers, you're not going to want to watch this video. The first kind of piece of information we have about Chapter 6, and this has gone back for a while, is that it would be Japanese themed, and basically all of the information and spoilers we have thus far further confirms that. And we actually do know that the island is named Onigashima. I probably said that incorrectly, but the first bit of information we got from Fortnite themselves is going to be this battle pass art image. This shows off several of the battle pass skins, and as you can see, that Asian theme that was previously kind of leaked and rumored is definitely seeming to be very present in this battle pass. One of the characters is even holding a katana, and a lot of people have just assumed this would be the return of the kinetic blade, which, you know, I would love for that to be the case, but this very well may just be a sword pickaxe or some sort of other katana item that doesn't function exactly like the kinetic blade. But, you know, the kinetic blade is one of my favorite mobility items ever, so I would be very happy to see it return in this season. And it definitely would be very fitting because with Chapter 6 Season 1 having a Japanese theme, that's clearly very comparable to Chapter 4 Season 2, which also had a Japanese theme and had the kinetic blade. In this image, you can also see Baymax and Godzilla, which are going to be two new collabs coming in Chapter 6. And then there also is a new version of Hope in this image as well. So the Hope character will continue over from Chapter 5. And I feel like of all these skins on this screen, that new Hope skin is probably my favorite that's going to be coming in this battle pass. So that image didn't really show too much, more so just the theme and the battle pass skins. But we also did get a second picture from Fortnite. And again, with this, we get a look at some of the characters, the theme, but we also see some of the POIs as well. Like each of the corners has a different POI. The middle character is again holding the katana, and we actually do see Hope holding a weapon in this image. You know, surprise, surprise, Chapter 6 will have guns. There is text on either side of this image as well. On the left, it says Chapter 6 Season 1, and on the right, it says a mysterious threat/presence returns. And then here is a better look at some of the POIs and buildings that we will see in Chapter 6 Season 1 from this second picture, and you can see they're all very Japanese themed, similar to what we saw with the POIs that were added in Chapter 4 Season 2, with like Naughty Nets, Kenjutsu Crossing, I think it was Steamy, something Steamy, I believe, and there was even a larger city looking POI kind of similar to Mega City. So I think if you liked Chapter 4 Season 2 and you liked kind of the way those POIs played out, you'll probably like a lot of these POIs. I feel like it's hard to say that if you like Chapter 4 Season 2, you'll like this season just because of the Japanese theme. Like, who knows how much that'll play a part. But I think if you liked those POIs in Chapter 4, you'll probably like these POIs as well because it looks to be very similar, like building structure and style. There's also a giant turtle that can be seen on the side of this image, and that is actually set to be a turtle island that moves around the map during the course of matches. I guess this will be somewhat similar to the train we had in Chapter 5, where the train was a moving kind of POI, but this time it's a giant turtle. With it being a giant turtle, maybe fighting on this turtle will be a little more reasonable than the train, because I never really liked fighting on the train. It always just kind of felt weird and somewhat useless to be on, and hopefully this turtle isn't the same case and you can actually, you know, have some somewhat normal fights on there and have it change the outcome of the game or kind of change how a game plays out. Godzilla can also be seen in the background of this image, and again, and this actually should be a boss during the season. That I don't know how that's going to work out. I've seen people compare this to the Doctor Doom boss we had for that event, where like maybe that was just them testing this future Godzilla thing. But either way, Godzilla should be a boss during Chapter 6 Season 1 and a skin that will come to the to the shop or battle pass. And I've seen people kind of comment on like how would it work as a skin? It's too big. But HypeX, I believe, posted this image kind of comparing what could be a Godzilla skin to the Family Guy chicken skin that we already had during Chapter 5. So I think it could definitely work. They would just make it a little different. It definitely would be bigger and weirder than a regular skin for sure, though. There will be demon or oni masks that are coming to the game in chapter 6, and I think these are expected to give some sort of like abilities or effects, kind of similar to the medallions from chapter 5. That's at least what I think of, where like each medallion gave you a certain ability or a certain effect. Maybe these masks all give you, you know, a certain ability or a certain effect. And the elements wind, fire, water, and void have also been teased in this season by Fortnite, and this may be the different types of masks we see in chapter 6. Like maybe it's a water mask, fire mask, void, wind, etc. And those elements in some way play a part in the masks and the effects they bring. There also will be a demon arena where you can battle enemies for loot. We don't really know exactly how this will be yet, but my kind of thinking on this is maybe you clear waves of the enemies and then that leads to a boss fight at the end, and then maybe that's how you obtain the masks. Again, that's not confirmed or anything, but just from playing Fortnite for several years and kind of seeing how they do things, it wouldn't surprise me at all if like that's how you get the masks. You have to, you know, fight a few waves of enemies, eliminate them, progress to the boss stage, eliminate the boss, and then you probably get like a mythic weapon from them, and then their mask, which, you know, grants you some sort of ability or effect. With a lot of the leaks, we do know of collabs that will be coming to the game in chapter 6. Demon Slayer is an anime that I believe a lot of players have been wanting to come to the game, and with this kind of season having the demon and oni masks, it makes sense that a Demon Slayer collab will be coming to the game in chapter 6. We also know of Godzilla and Baymax from the Battle Pass image that we saw earlier on in the video. The Cyberpunk video game should be getting a collab sometime soon in Fortnite. And then also there's a potential Tekken and Yakuza collabs that would also fit in well with this season, kind of having the Japanese Asian theme. And with collabs in Fortnite, there's a lot of times where things leak and then they come to the game several months or years later. So all these collabs, you know, might come out next season. They might come out later on in a different season, and there will probably be several other collabs that come during the course of chapter 6 that we didn't already see leaked. Like Fortnite just has so many collabs that it's really hard to say, but just because we don't get all of these collabs on day 1 or week 1 of the season doesn't mean that people are wrong. Things like Family Guy was leaked and rumored for a very long time before it ended up eventually coming to the game. We also have rumors of several mechanics that will be coming to the game in chapter 6. It seems like with every new chapter, Fortnite tries to do some sort of different movement. We had like swimming in chapter 2, sprinting, sliding, and mantling in chapter 3, the hurdling in chapter 6, and then chapter 5, you know, the movement changes they made there. It has been rumored for a while that prone would be coming to the game. This is going to be when your character lays on their belly, similar to what we see in games like Call of Duty or Battlefield. I don't really care that much about this, to be honest. I've seen a lot of people not want this in the game and think it'll make the game really campy, but I really don't think it'll be that big of a deal. The reason why I think someone hiding prone is like a big problem or a big factor at times in Call of Duty is because of how fast the time to kill is. You know, someone just catching a few milliseconds of timing can just decide the outcome of the fight. But with how Fortnite plays out, it's not like a very fast TTK game. And so I think someone just getting that slight element of surprise isn't the biggest deal, especially if their movement is impaired by being, you know, slower. Also, I feel like Fortnite is a game where the characters typically pop very well. Like it's easy to see people. And so hiding like that isn't going to be as big of a deal. There also is apparently some sort of swinging mechanic. This is another thing that I feel like has been kind of getting way too much attention. It'll maybe be a part of the game, but this I think is something that's going to be in certain areas. Like, you know, we had the zip lines and the grind rails and all of that in Mega City, and it was mostly confined to that area. Or the vines in Chapter 4, Season 3 in that area, or the lights at certain POIs in Chapter 5. Like you could grind on them, but it wasn't like a constant thing that was happening in every fight because it was limited to certain areas and certain, you know, spots in those areas. Like it wasn't just something that people were doing constantly. So I think swinging would kind of be like that. There's also been rumors of wall running coming to the game, and I believe there was even Unreal like tech demo tests that kind of showed this off. And this is another thing that, again, that like maybe it comes to the game and it's really big deal, but I don't really think that's going to be the case. I expect this to be maybe certain walls you can run on certain POIs, which would make it very similar to the grind rails, you know, or an item that maybe does that, or something along those lines. It might just be a constant movement thing. I think that's possible, but I also think it's possible it's something that's more limited and has like certain areas or certain things that require it to happen. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But I've seen a lot of people kind of freaking out about the wall running and the prone, and I don't know. My opinion is that like maybe they'll be a big deal, maybe they won't be a big deal. Another thing that I think is not as big of a deal as other people are making it out to be is going to be first person. Fortnite has been, working on first person mode for a while. This has been leaked and rumored for a long time. And there was times where it accidentally came out early. I think even in 2020 there was like an event with the Midas event where some people exited the event and then they were just in first person afterwards. So it's been worked on for a long time. But I don't know if this is actually coming to Battle Royale. And one of the reasons why I think it might not be is because of creative mode. So the Fortnite creative account has already posted about first person and talked about how they're making this an option for people's islands. And Fortnite has been putting a lot of, emphasis over the past few years into like making Fortnite more than just Battle Royale. And creative is one of those things where they want people to be able to create any type of game or experience in creative mode, and making an option for first person, makes that more of a possibility. And that's why I think this might just be a thing for creative mode and an option for people that do want to make creative maps. I think if it was like a big, reveal for Chapter 6, the Fortnite creative account wouldn't be posting about it weeks before Chapter 6 launching. Like, you know what I mean? Like if it was a Battle Royale thing, they would probably want to save that reveal for like the launch of Chapter 6 Season 1. I could definitely be wrong on that, but I just think it's a creative thing. And we even saw this happen a year or two ago, I think, with proximity chat, where that was rumored and leaked and worked on for a long time. And then it didn't end up coming to the game, but it was an option in creative mode for people that wanted to make proximity chat maps in creative and not something that just came to the Battle Royale. So we already do have history of them making things specifically for creative. But that is going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.